Drive away your worries and cares at this drive-in theater, where you will see the finest motion pictures of all time, soon to be released. Drama, comedy, adventure, excitement, something for everyone.
How'd he do it, Pa? I only heard one shot.
It's a question of speed, son.
Pa, ain't nobody faster on a drawer than him?
Faster than him? Nobody.
Howdy, partners. Welcome to episode 45, Tales from the Video Store. With your hosts, Lee Bridges, Doug Wall, Garrick Lane.
Good? Was it good as share?
Oh, it's written by Scott Alexander.
Larry Karaszewski, yeah.
Oh,
the biopic guys.
It's gonna be so good.
Yeah.
We just watched the trailer of My Name is Dolomite.
Yep. The Rudy Ray Moore story.
No.
That's awesome.
Who I never thought would get a biopic.
No, but let's see.
Yeah. And I'm glad it looks like Eddie Murphy gives a shit again.
Yes.
Because, I don't really think he was ever chomping at the bit to be Dr. Dolittle. But,
I don't know what happened.
Yeah. But I think you just get, once you get that successful, and someone says you want to be Dr. Dolittle, and you say no, and they say, what about $20 million? You go, absolutely.
Yeah. And then that led to Pluto Nash and just the rest of the garbage. And then, when his brother died, he just kind of disappeared completely.
Right.
And I hope he comes back, dude. I fucking love it.
Did you see him on Comedians in Cars drinking coffee on Netflix?
I heard about it. But
He's still like Eddie Murphy.
Sharp.
Like when they're driving around, he's talking about how homeless people must hate people who camp. He's like, this is my life. And he's out there playing with that shit. Like Jerry Seinfeld is dying laughing.
Yeah.
He's like, and he just came up with that, as they're driving.
Yeah.
And he's still Eddie Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
But, it's like...
He definitely has taken a hiatus.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the last funny Eddie Murphy role that I can think of off the top of my head, Bowfinger.
Oh. And this
Nutty
feels...
First Nutty Professor?
That's okay. I mean, yeah, I guess.
Bowfinger
but
was great.
He's awesome.
This
in
feels
Bowfinger.
this feels like Bowfinger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw an interview with him once. He said the last movie he had fun making was Trading Places. So he had fun making his first three movies.
Damn.
After that, it was just... He got too big,
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, Beverly Hills Cop Beverly Hills Cop outgrossed Ghostbusters. People don't realize how big that movie was. It was the biggest movie in 1984.
And 48 hours and all that. Just
48 hours is perfect.
The first one's awesome.
It is. It's... I don't know if now young people today would enjoy it the same way because it's incredibly offensive.
Yeah. But it's meant to be.
Exactly. It's meant to be. Yeah, it's not.
Back when it was tolerated.
Right.
Everybody, it was tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
That's
a good movie.
That doesn't exist anymore.
That doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. But
it is funny though, because speaking of like separation and stuff like that, I was thinking this morning. Last night we were down in Charlotte, right? And it's Pride weekend, so it's it's all the homosexuals from all of North Carolina come down to Charlotte into this one place, and I knew that. We're walking to dinner, we're downtown, and there's a bunch of people screaming obscenities and yelling at other people. And I looked over and I was like, are they drunk or something? It didn't register that they were the Bible guys yelling at the homosexuals. Like, I just thought this was a big group of drunk people.
Thought it was a fight or something.
There's police everywhere, and I was like, it literally took me 15 minutes, and so it took me 15 minutes to realize, that's what this is happening.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. So then I was like, am I clueless, or am I just that integrated that kind of stuff doesn't even...
Well, I mean, but how often do you see in day-to-day life a street preacher yelling at people?
Right.
It's not the 40s anymore or whatever. I mean, you never see it.
Oh, these guys weren't preaching.
They were protesting.
They were.
Anytime these days that there's some kind of organized event for a particular group, whatever that group is, there's going to be another group that's telling them how fucking wrong they are.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, oh yeah, that's what I like. But I would this morning. I'm like, am I that clueless, or do I just not? That just doesn't register to me.
Well, I think that's good.
Like
I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
That you immediately didn't be like, those guys protesting gay people, just protesting gayness in general. Like, I mean, it's
there were cops everywhere. It was crazy.
like they're going to say something, and it's just going to stop. They're going to go, you know what?
Yeah.
You're right. Like, that's never going to happen.
But they're never going to stop trying.
Good point, sweaty-faced preacher guy.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, like that will never happen.
Well, we just officially put politics into our movie podcast.
But-
No!
Offensiveness, the trailer we just watched, there's nobody more offensive than Rudy Ray Moore.
No.
Like, you listen to a Rudy Ray Moore or a Red Fox album from the 60s and 70s, people today their hair would burst into flames. It's nothing.
A Red Fox is
It's nothing, but it's designed to offend you.
Right.
So I mean, it'll be interesting to see how people
Rodney
respond to it.
Dangerfield.
Right.
I mean, just
Yeah.
George Carlin.
Yep.
Those guys were just.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
And that's why I love them.
That's why we love them.
That's why you just
That's
listen to
why-
a list of people that I fucking love is
That's
because
why-
they were willing to push the envelope when it needed to be pushed.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's why the 40-year-old white male is the most hated person in the world right now. Because we liked all that stuff. Because we grew up in this weird, different world.
I guess.
Maybe they just hate you.
That goes without saying. They can hate me all they want. These guys are screaming, man, like crazy obscenities. And I was like, whoa. And these people are walking up and they're not even acknowledging them. They're just walking right by. And I was like, woo, dude, that makes me want to punch the guy. And I don't even.
Yeah, he's not even talking to me.
And my wife was like, we need to get out of here, Garrick. We need to go. We need to hurry. And I'm like, hurry for what? What's going on? And I looked around and I saw the cops and everything. I'm like, oh, yeah. We started eating dinner, and I was like, oh, they were protesting homosexuals, weren't they?
Yeah.
Just like so after the fact, I'm like, oh yeah, now I get it.
Yeah.
It's stupid. Anyhow. All right. So did we watch some movies?
We did.
Yes, we did.
Yes. Doug walked in the door and was like, man, I watched some crazy shit.
Yeah.
So let's hear it.
I did. So the first movie I watched, found on Amazon Prime, I think it was filmed in 2017, but just released in the United States this year. I'm probably going to hack the name up, but it's called Hagazusa, A Heathen's Curse. Mm-hmm. And it's from a first-time writer-director by the name of Lucas Fiegelfeld. I believe he's from
Jiminy Christmas.
Germany.
Right.
And it's basically a 15th century witch tale, kind of. I saw some things about it that it compares to The Witch, and I thought, I'll check it out, see what's going on. It's the slowest movie I have ever seen. There are maybe 100 words in a 2-hour movie. It looks fucking amazing. It takes place in the 15th century.
So it's like Space Odyssey.
Yeah. 15th century in Austria. They're right outside of the Alps, and this young girl is with her mother. These 3 guys come. They talk some shit to them. Like I say, it's really weird. There's not much dialogue. The mother, I believe she ends up getting the plague. You're not really sure. And she dies, and then it goes 15 years into the future, and this woman, or the girl has grown up into a woman. She has a small child that you never know where it comes from. If you're willing to accept, it for what it is, which is very slow, very brooding. The music is really building, but nothing really ever happens. It's more of like a feel movie, if that makes any sense.
Right.
It's kind of like a horror lover's like Phantom Thread to me. Like, it looks great, but at the end of the day, like, what really happens? And it's fucking disgusting. There's rape, there's cannibalism, there is vomiting. There is a plethora of dead animals. A chick eats mushrooms and goes on this weird trip in the woods. But I will say this, it's a ballsy fucking first movie by this guy. And I believe this guy like just got out of film school. He's young.
Yeah.
And I appreciated it for what it was. I can't recommend it to anybody.
Right.
Because of what it is. But if what I said kind of interests you a little bit, give it a shot. You know?
No, I'm sorry. When was it made again?
I believe it was made in 2017 and was released here on Prime, I think, in like April of 2019.
Wow.
Hagazusa, which is Old German for witch. And, yeah, if you want to see something really fucking slow and creepy, help yourself.
Well, what about compared to The Witch? The Witch is slow as well. I mean, it's
The Witch is like...
But The Witch has a plot.
This is... You really have no idea what's going on throughout the entire movie.
And I don't think The Witch is that slow. I think it's deliberate.
Right.
But I think enough happens to keep you interested.
Oh, sure. You're right. And I'm sorry. Let me retort that because I love that movie. I just,
That's why I wanted to see this, but I can't really compare them because they're not that similar, really. When push comes to shove. I mean, this chick, like, yeah, there's goats. But what she does with these goats, man, it's not very cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Is it better than Lords of Salem? Oh, no.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. I've seen movies that I can't recommend.
I just don't know, man.
Yeah.
Garrick, because of the way it looks and feels, you might be like, man, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. You might love it. And then again, you might just...
I wrote it down because I'm like, that kind of spawns my interest. I'm like,
but you might watch it and go, I hate everything about this.
Yeah, just get through it if you can. Because there's some scenes in it where I wanted to stop it. Jody was like, Jesus Christ, I can't watch any more of this, and went upstairs.
Because it's so bad or so horrifying?
It's just what it is. She just couldn't do it. And I was like, I'm sticking it out. I'll text you when it's over.
Yeah.
You know? And I stuck it out to the end. The other movie I watched, which was one that you had spoken of before, I got suckered into watching The Favorite from last year, Yorgos Lanthimos. It's a movie about the Duchess of Marlborough and Queen Anne and I guess it's supposed to be Abigail Masham, but kind of taking some real life characters and kind of making a story out of it that's fictitious. It looks fucking amazing.
All those wide angles.
It looks great. The dialogue is fucking great. And I'll be honest with you, I thought that I would hate it.
Yeah.
I wanted to hate it. But I was pleasantly surprised. I really was.
Yeah.
The ending was a little anticlimactic.
It really was.
It just kind of ended, and I was like, that was kind of strange. But the overall experience was positive. I laughed, sitting there, I laughed out loud several times at just some of the things that these people said. And, it's one of those where, and we've watched movies like this before, where all the characters are fucking terrible, but you still kind of like them for some reason. They're all still kind of likable. Yeah. And that's kind of how that movie was. Good movie, man. Really fucking cool movie. I thought
it's really great, and I love how the way he used all the wide angle lenses to show that they were all in these sets. These weren't sets; these were the real places. You know what I mean? And the wardrobe, everything was great.
I mean, it's weird.
Yeah,
there's parts in it that are fucking weird, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't as weird as Hagazusa.
Right.
I will say that.
Look at me! Stop looking at me!
The only other movie that I watched was 1967, Nino Milano's Day of Anger, starring Lee Van Cleef and Giuliano Gemma. This is a fucking spaghetti western, dude.
Yeah.
The beginning, the intro is fucking perfect. It's about a guy named Scott who has no last name. He's kind of like the town pushover. He's kind of like the janitor, and this stranger comes into town, Talby. And Talby kind of invites him into a bar for a drink, and everybody in there is like, get this fucking janitor out of here, and he's like, hey, man, he's my guest, we're going to hang out, whatever. Some shit goes down and Talby kills a guy. Self-defense. And gets off, and he's like, all right, I'm out of here. And he leaves, and this kid, Scott, follows him, and then they kind of become friends, and then he starts to kind of teach him the ways of being a badass motherfucker. And that he gives him these lessons, that they go through as the movie expands. And basically Talby was involved in some kind of a heist where there's like $50,000 that he's owed. So he's going after the guys that were in his gang. It's like 10 years later looking for the money. And basically the people in this town had something to do with the fact that he didn't get his money. So they go back to Scottstown and do some shit. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It really is. It was one I'd never heard of it. I didn't know what to expect out of it. But I absolutely loved it. It's got some great stunts in it.
Yeah.
Great Van Cleef. I don't want to give any of it away because it's one of my favorite westerns that we've watched.
Yeah.
It's that good. It's a fucking A+ for me.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah, it's an A+. It doesn't necessarily, the way it goes, man, halfway through the movie, you think that each of these people are a certain way, and by the end you see who they really are.
Yeah.
It's just beautifully woven together. I fucking loved it. I recommend it. If you love westerns and you've never seen Day of Anger, check it out. It's awesome. That's what I watched. Yeah.
Nice. I watched a handful of things. I'm just going to rattle them off real quick.
Okay.
First thing, in the theater, I watched Hobbs and Shaw. The Fast
Oh, you did?
I did. It is the best live-action G.I. Joe movie ever made. Like, the villains of these, they wear, suits and helmets with, visors. They all drive, motorcycles with, rockets on them and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a G.I. Joe movie. The only thing the only negative I'll say is, at the end of the second act, there's a action sequence at Chernobyl that feels like the end of the movie. But then they end up going to Samoa, where it's to meet the Rock's family, and that's a good sequence. But the movie feels like it's come to its crescendo in Chernobyl, and then there's 20 minutes left.
Right.
So it's not bad, but it probably could have been a little bit shorter. But it's highly entertaining.
Cool.
Idris Elba is a super villain basically, and I enjoyed it.
Are you a fan of the other?
No, I've seen the first one and the third one.
Okay.
I've never seen anyone have The Rock or Jason Statham in it. So yeah. But other than that, I watched a movie on Prime, a western that Jack Nicholson directed from 1978 called Going South.
Oh yeah.
I had not seen it since I was very young.
I fucking love that movie.
It's such an odd movie. He's in this town, and a lot of the men in the town died in the Civil War, so they have this law that if a man's about to be hung as long as he's not a murderer, if a woman wants to marry him, he's off scot free.
Yeah.
And the best joke in the movie is this little old woman's going to marry him. She says, "I'll take him," and he runs down and grabs her and hugs her. She immediately dies of a heart attack. She just drops dead right there. Yeah. So they just walk him back up to the gallows, I guess it's not your day, bud. And then Mary Steenburgen marries him, and she has this idea that she has a gold mine. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "In Texas? Are you sure?" And he's constantly trying to tell her this. And the movie, I guess what it's kind of about is about the 20th century coming. Because there's this one farmer who's just like, "I got this black goo bubbling up out of my land, and it's everywhere, and I can't grow corn." And it's just like, dude, that's oil. Yeah. And then they strike gold, But then sort of his outlaw past comes back to, his former gang. And it's an oddly funny movie. It's a 70s comedy.
Right.
There's a very uncomfortable scene in it where he kind of takes advantage of her that would not fly today.
Correct.
And but it's on Prime.
That's
and
awesome.
it's oddly funny.
Yeah.
When he pours the bucket of horse piss on Christopher Lloyd's head, Christopher Lloyd shoots the horse on the other side of the wall. I was just like, God, that's funny.
Yeah.
And but other than that, I watched had a Dolph Lundgren double feature. I bought a bunch of in July. A lot of the Blu-ray companies have sales, and I bought a bunch. Warner Bros. Archive does 4 for $40 Blu-rays, and I got I Come in Peace.
Nice.
And Showdown in Little Tokyo, which I've not seen Showdown in Little Tokyo. See, it came out in 91, so I've not seen that since, I'll say, 92.
Right.
It's 77 minutes long. It's barely a movie. It's oddly pro and anti-Japanese at the same time, but it's, oh, damn, him and Brandon Lee are just great. They're sort of in love with each other. There's an odd scene at the end, when they're getting out of the shootout, and Brandon Lee just looked at Dolph Lundgren and goes, "I gotta tell you something in case we die." He's like, "What?" He goes, "You have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man." And Dolph Lundgren's just like, "Oh, thank you." And then they go into the shootout. It's I cannot imagine, say if that was The Rock and Jason Statham, so Warner Brothers being like, we're good with that line.
Yeah.
Like, that would never happen. But other than that, I watched a documentary. It's on Hulu. Just came on the other day. It's on the magician, the Amazing Jonathan. And about 5 years ago, he was given a year to live, real terrible heart condition. So 4 years later, he's still alive. And this guy calls him, wants to make a documentary about him. Well, about a month in, it's going great. They're getting footage. He's doing shows again. His health's not good. Come to find out, he's been addicted to meth. He was addicted to cocaine for 20 years. And then, like, 15 years ago, he started doing meth. Because he's like, that's better. Like, it gives me more energy. Which probably has something to do with his heart problems. Yeah. But he just openly smokes meth, like, in front of his wife. And she'll just sit there and cry. And he's just like, he's never been arrested. He doesn't get violent. He just likes it. You know, and he's very open with it. But then something weird happens. Something weirder than that happens. He says, oh, by the way, there's going to be a second documentary crew. It's the guys who did Man on a Wire and Looking for Sugar.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, all right. He's like, but you could just stay the other way. Y'all just stay out of each other's way and that'll be fine. They're doing a different angle. It's like, okay. Well, a couple weeks later, a third guy shows up. He's doing a documentary. He's a fellow magician. He's a chainsaw juggler. He wants to make a documentary. And he goes, well, this guy started a year before you did. And he's just like, oh, and this time the dude's just getting pissed, you know. A month after that, guess what happens?
For
a woman
is this for real?
Yes, a woman who's apparently been shooting a documentary since 2014.
All on the same guy.
Yeah, and he's like, is the Amazing Jonathan fucking with me? He's like, because he's the reason why I think he's one of the best magicians ever. He was always like, this is fake. Like when he would cut his arm open with a knife, he was just like, look, that's not real. You just smear the fake blood. Like, he's not like David Blaine, one of those assholes that thinks he's like a mystic. He's like, this is clearly fake.
Yeah.
And he's just like, this can't be happening. And
weird.
But then he calls up the guys who did Waiting for Sugar Man and Man on Wire. He's like, I've never heard. They're from England. They're like, I've never heard of the Amazing Jonathan. So it gets even worse. And then he starts to think, is he fucking dying or not? He's like, is this all a prank on me and also the world? And it's a really good documentary, but parts of it are very uncomfortable in a good way. And I'll give the Amazing Jonathan credit. He does not come off looking great.
But you're talking about it.
I'm talking about it, and so it's on Hulu now, and it's
Amazing Jonathan.
The Amazing Jonathan documentary. If you watch stand up in the 80s and 90s,
I'm sure I've probably seen him.
Yeah, like he would do jokes like he would bring out a bottle of Windex and just drink it all in one gulp. Like, see, I'm not going to run around with my clothes off. Stops me from drinking. Like, the jokes were terrible, but it was because he was just, his badness at them made it funny.
Right.
You know? Yeah. Because he's in on the joke.
Nice.
But it's like, is he in on this? You know?
Weird. So I'm lost. So the guys, the Man on the Wire guy, they never came to do it.
Nope. Those were just some random dudes. And it's like, did he know they were lying to him, or did the Amazing Jonathan make that up?
Do you find out?
No, I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
It's a very odd documentary.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Interesting though.
I must go see tonight.
Yeah.
Like I'm hooked.
Yeah, that sounds really weird.
Yeah.
It's called the Amazing.
It's called the Amazing Jonathan documentary. There's a second one that's online that the non Man on the Wire guys did that I've seen part of. It's actually not bad. It's more of in praise of him. Like, it starts with like that one. You can watch it online for free. I think it's on YouTube. It starts with like a voicemail that George Carlin sent about how funny he thought he was, and it's more about comedy and magic than his life. He doesn't smoke meth on camera in that one. I can tell you that much. Yeah. But there's 1,000 little points that I'm not bringing up.
Oh, I'm sure. It sounds.
But that's all I watched.
Okay, well, I'm glad you guys watched a bunch of movies because I was at the beach on vacation and was not able to watch anything. However, I did watch Jaws. Ironically, with the kids at the beach.
Never seen it. No.
Where were you?
Oak Island.
Okay.
And we watched Jaws. 7 kids and I at the beach watched Jaws. And
what was the consensus?
Oh, they all loved it.
Okay, good.
And it didn't really, amazingly enough, it didn't really change their...
They're not scared of...
That's good.
They're not scared of sharks or...
No.
Every time you go up to a piece of seaweed bumps into the leg on the ocean, they're going, oh, fuck.
Although they did, one time I was swimming and I was digging around in the sand and a crab got me and I,
Yeah.
freaking... kids are like, what? And I was like, a crab just bit me. And they went, psh, they took off.
Yeah.
I'm like, thanks a lot. If I was getting eaten by a shark here.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They're not going to save you.
Yeah, exactly.
I watched Jaws, and I watched another movie, but we'll get into that in another part of the show.
Outstanding.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. We lost. Well, we could do it now. We lost Peter Fonda this week.
I didn't know he was sick.
I didn't know either.
Yeah.
When I found out he passed away, I had to watch Easy Rider.
Yeah.
It's just Indians. I mean,
It's him.
Yeah.
You know, and the character that he plays in the Limey is it's like it could have been him. He could have been that guy and like that.
Had they sold the acid,
right?
Got some money,
right?
You know.
But the ironic part is Fonda was not like that at all. He wasn't a guy. I never felt like that. Like used his experiences in the 1960s to like make money off.
No,
you know, and you know, I loved him in that movie, and I can't think of anything that he's been in.
Yuli's Gold was great.
Yuli's Gold.
Did he get an Oscar nomination for that?
He did.
Is the only other one that I can think of that's pretty recent that I've seen with him in it. I looked at some movies with him in it from like 2014, 15. They looked like westerns where he was in it for like 30 seconds and out, and I thought, you know, I'm not going to waste my time.
He's really good in 310 to Yuma as the bounty hunter.
That's right.
He really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his death scene where Russell Crowe stabbing him in the neck with a fork is that whip.
Yeah,
that's unsettling.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, R.I.P. to Peter Fonda.
Yeah.
He was truly a great one.
He always seemed like he was having fun too, like Burt Reynolds.
Yeah,
like they just like a lot of people like Jim Carrey. I think being famous kind of drove Jim Carrey crazy, or like Eddie Murphy. He just kind of separates from society.
Yeah,
Peter Fonda was just like whatever.
Yeah, What you saw is kind of what you got out of him. I always felt. Yeah. He was probably just as nice in real life as he was on camera.
Yeah, probably the exact same guy. Well, this week's movie has another Fonda in it.
Strangely enough,
Henry Fonda.
His Papa Bear.
My Name is Nobody.
That's it.
You want to introduce?
Absolutely. This we've covered 2 spaghetti westerns. This to me is sort of like this is like the last big spaghetti western. Like it was made by a studio that had a famous actor in it. After this, they get very low budget, and some of those are very good. But this one, you could tell there was some money behind this one.
Yes.
And it was Henry Fonda as sort of an aging, sort of as almost like his character from like westerns of the 40s and 50s, that sort of. And Terrence Hill, who most people know as Trinity from the Trinity movies, as sort of like the new young gunfighter. And it's a comedy, but it's not really when Terrence Hill's not in the movie, it's not a comedy.
Right.
It's only a comedy when he's on screen. Which is, it's got a very weird tone to it. But there's also some extremely cool scenes in it.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's, I think it's probably the best comedy western. Or one of the best. That's actually a western. Not taking things like Blazing Saddles. It's a comedy, Because this sort of, kind of like we talked about Ninja and the Dragon's Den.
Yeah.
A lot of ethnic humor does not fly with a lot of people. Like that sort of Cantonese, very broad comedy. I'm sure there's a lot of people, this sort of very broad, slapsticky Italian comedy is just not people's cup of tea.
Right.
So, because the Trinity movies are very good, but they're way goofier than this. But it's a super cool movie. It's called My Name is Nobody. It's listed as being directed by
Antonio.
Let me think of the guy's name. Yeah. 1 second. Sorry about that. Antonio Valeri, but really, a lot of it was directed by Sergio Leone.
It's presented by.
Yeah, presented by. Yeah. But apparently Henry Fonda would only work with Leone because they'd worked on Once Upon a Time in the West. And I guess he just wasn't. Kind of same thing happened with The Fistful of Dynamite. Rod Steiger and James Coburn weren't going to work with some random. The guy who directed last week's movie.
Right.
So Leone ended up directing it. Which, that makes sense. He was like. We were talking about Easy Rider, that sort of late 60s Hollywood Renaissance. But from the mid-60s to about this time, he was the superstar director.
Oh, yeah.
He was, and he turned down a lot. Like, he turned down The Godfather. He turned down the original Superman. Like, the amount of movies Leone didn't direct is astounding.
Yeah.
And this is just a cool movie. It's like I said, it's very simple. It's almost like a fan movie. Like, Terrence Hill, he's the world's biggest fan of Henry Fonda's character. And he's been hired to kill him, but he can't do it because he just loves him so much. You know.
It was so fucking weird.
Oh, it's very weird.
I mean, it's weird to me.
What did you think, Doug?
I don't know if I liked it or not.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. It's like a couple minutes in, there's like a classic Razor close up. You know, this guy has killed this barber, and Fonda's character comes in there for a shave, and you know, it's like the camera's on the razor. I was like, oh my god, this is great, you know. But as it opens up into just how fucking weird, I think it's just Terrence Hill's character, Nobody, was so fucking. I'm not sure what he is.
Yeah.
Is he an angel? Is he the devil? Like, what is he?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Yeah.
You know, you guys. I saw Garrett was excited about this movie, so it got me excited about it.
Yeah.
I loved it, and I just.
If you're expecting the good, bad, the ugly, it's not that.
No,
it's not that at all.
A couple of things. The fucking music, I hated it, man. It was like a 70s porn.
Right, the Nobody theme. When he wasn't on screen, I thought the music was great.
Yeah, it just changed.
Yeah.
The whole feel of the movie was so up and down for me. It was just really weird.
Yeah, it was very random. It was a very random
movie. And the end, like you talked about with Hobbs and Shaw, like I thought it was going to end at a certain point, and then there was still 20 minutes left of the movie.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, did you pick up on the Sam Peckinpah?
Oh, yeah.
When he's talking about they're at this mass graveyard, and he's like, "Oh, Sam Peckinpah," you know, just
and the sort of the evil posse is called the Wild Bunch.
The Wild Bunch and his donkey. Wait,
yeah,
I'm getting movies confused. Sorry,
but
that was from a different movie that I watched. That was from the other one. His donkey's name was Sartania.
Okay,
so it's just weird, man. I didn't hate it.
Right.
I didn't love it.
Yeah.
I fall somewhere in the middle. Will I ever watch it again? Probably not.
Everything I've read about Italian movies, like this time there were 3 types of movies.
Yeah.
There were the A pictures, you know, like Leone and Fellini, the guys who made big budget Italian movies.
Right.
Then, like in the middle, you had your giallos, you had your gladiator movies, your spaghetti westerns, sort of the meat and potatoes, the genre movies. But then at the end, there were these slapstick comedies, which make this look like Gone with the Wind. I've seen like clips from them. There's a group of movies called the 3 Superman movies, and I've made it about 30 seconds into one of the trailers. It's just about kicking people in the ass.
Yeah,
like that's what they do. They just run around in like the old west in like superhero suits, and somebody bends over and they kick them in the ass, and they run like they're in a silent comedy. And apparently there was a whole group of, after World War II, a whole group of uneducated people who lived in like rural Italy. That's the movies they were made for. Because they couldn't read, most of them. They had very limited access to education and stuff. And so they just made these almost like childlike movies for them. And I guess Terrence Hill, he was the best of those.
Right.
You know, and sort of transferred over into, he made American movies, you know. And, but... yeah, if this doesn't appeal to you, don't watch any other spaghetti western comedies, because they get much stupider.
I didn't know what this was going to be.
Yeah,
you know,
it started off real serious, and then
because
Henry Fonda's the fish, and it's like then it's funny. And
that's how you can tell it's directed by 2 different people.
Henry Fonda's character is so like straight laced and like badass. I mean, because he is, and he's a guy that is at the end of his career. He basically just wants to retire. And then this fucking weird dude just starts following him around and talking about all of his exploits. Like, how the fuck would he know? That's what I'm saying, man. I think he maybe he's supposed to be the devil. I don't know.
Right.
I just don't know.
But see, here's the spoiler. I thought that too until the twist ending, where you're like, oh, wait a minute, he didn't kill him. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. Like, I don't know, man.
Well, I never thought he was gonna kill him.
Right.
That was what was so random for a second. I'm like, wait a minute, did that just happen?
Yeah.
I've just been watching this whole movie, and then I'm like, oh, I get it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, I didn't hate it.
Right.
But I don't think I liked it.
You were frustrated by it.
I just was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
It's just so weird. And I like weird. I guess I was expecting something different than what this was. Maybe that was my issue with it.
I think that may be it, though. That's something I had not taken under. Woo! Here we go. Sorry, just went for a yawn. Something I didn't take under consideration is that the scenes were directed by two different guys.
Right.
So you have two different tones.
So Antonio, he's directing a comedy, and his producers over there directing, Once Upon a Time in the West.
A Western, yeah. Just a classic Western.
Yeah, so, I mean, really, that's what you get.
I mean, it's spaghetti.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is what, we were talking about the other week. I don't like that term because to me, it makes it's like silly Western.
Right.
This is a fucking spaghetti Western.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And, but the gunfight in the Hall of Mirrors, though, that's the shit.
Yes, and then when he beats that dude up with the totem pole, with the guy, the totem,
boxing thing,
and it's going back and forth. And
yeah.
I loved it, but I loved it for all the reasons that I love movies, and that's the scope. The shots were ridiculous. I like the use of the TikTok. Always when something was happening, you could hear the TikTok. That would come up.
Talking about fucking story.
The music, huh?
It's like from a fucking story. Like what the fuck?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you're right.
I was watching. I was like, "You motherfucker, man! What?"
Yeah,
I didn't mean to do
this
that.
Original concept, and then you go to watch an old spaghetti western. You're like,
And the
my
guy's
movie.
fucking doing it. I was like,
Son
God
of a
damn.
bitch. But I liked the transitions were great.
Yeah.
The ending, me, man. It was well edited. The editing was fantastic, and I liked the swap of the music and I liked every aspect. Besides the randomness, which now I could probably say is because you had two different directors directing two different movies.
Yeah.
Now that you said
awesome.
that it seems.
I'll
like
say
that
that it's
to
a
me.
great background movie. If you're going to clean your house and just have
Yes.
a movie playing, put
I
My
had
Name Is
it
Nobody
playing
on.
when you were here.
Right, exactly.
I
It's a great background movie because you can catch a cool 5 minutes like the shootout in the Hall of Mirrors.
Yeah.
It looks same year as Enter the Dragon too. Released 3
yeah.
months after Enter the Dragon. So I mean,
That end scene with the train and the guys coming.
Like there's some cool stuff. in
That
it.
they had one shot where they pan up from the train. It's a huge crane shot. You
Yeah.
just see them coming, and you're like that's why I like movies right there. Like,
Okay.
I just need to do that shot.
This is
somehow.
not just about this movie, but why does all food look so fucking weird in spaghetti westerns? Like that stuff Van Cleef eats at the beginning of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. What is that? Bell peppers and maple syrup?
Yeah.
Like what is nobody eating at the end?
I don't know.
He's
Yeah,
cooking
he's-
food in the furnace
Of the train.
of the train. It's just like, what is that? Dog food? I don't like all food in spaghetti westerns looks weird as shit.
Beans.
Yeah.
Look like some kind of beans.
Yeah.
And can you explain one thing? So, and here's another spoiler. In the movie, at the beginning, Henry Fonda's getting a shave. He realizes the guy's going to cut his throat. He puts his gun in the guy's nards.
Yeah.
Nobody at the end does it, but he has his finger.
Yeah.
Up his butthole.
Does that? Yeah. He
What
puts
the
his
fuck was
finger
that?
up his butthole. What?
That's just the humor. I mean, it's just that
He
physical.
Was he
learned.
going to die?
I don't know.
Does he die right there? Does he get his? He did not. He didn't have a gun.
He definitely doesn't die.
No, he doesn't die.
Well, because Henry Fonda's sitting there in the narration,
Yeah.
his voiceover saying,
Right.
"You're never going to know. You're going to always be running. You're always going to be running." And then
Yeah.
they show that scene.
Yeah.
And it's played. The guy is what's his name? You know him. He's in the Rob Zombie. He's in Devil's Rejects. Old actor.
Yeah.
He's in Smokey and the Bandit.
Right.
What's his name?
I can't think of it. I know exactly.
Okay,
I can't
never
think of it.
mind.
Was it?
Damn it.
Yeah.
Come on, Lee.
He's
we paid
got
for
an
it.
initial name.
Yeah, it's like
Doesn't-
E.G. something.
E.G. something.
Ermy.
No, not
Whatever.
that's
Oh,
all
yeah,
right.
that's, yeah.
He's the sheriff in the Peter Fonda movie Race with the Devil. He's the sheriff.
And he's been a bit player in a million movies.
He was in Peckinpah's Pat Garrett, Billy the Kid. He was in 1,000 movies.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. But that I saw him, and I liked it. I would tell you,
I liked it. If you like spaghetti westerns, give it a shot.
if you like the technique of movies, you will like this movie. The editing and the music and the scope of the shots. The midget part is awesome.
Doug, do you have a comment on the midget on stilts?
Right out of my nightmare. That fucking guy chasing after me in a dream, I would fucking legitimately shit my pants. But I loved what he did.
Yeah, shot the stilts
Shot the
down.
legs out and then
Yeah.
brought him down to size, and the little fucker runs off.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, it was. So I would say watch it.
I would say watch it.
Lee say watch it while you're vacuuming your house. Doug?
As long as you don't have to pay attention to it, watch it. It's not.
Let me ask you a
I
question.
don't know. It's not.
Let me ask you a
terrible.
question.
Okay.
That fucking German, that kraut shit you recommended, Vuvuzela.
Hagazusa.
How is that different than this? Because they're not. You don't. If you're not interested in the plot, you can. But you're talking about how you loved how it looked, and because the tone of it.
The tone of it. Yeah, this is. Look, I didn't hate this.
Right.
I didn't hate Hagazusa either. I don't think. Maybe I hated them both. I don't know. They're very different.
Yes, but I'm just saying that sometimes
The
it is about
epic
the
shots that you see
Yeah.
in My Name Is Nobody,
right.
are classic epic shots. It's not like it's never been seen on film before.
No.
And in this Hagazusa, it's shots of this beautiful Austrian, the mountains and just it looks perfect.
Right.
But
Yeah.
what you're watching isn't necessarily perfect.
Right.
You know, and I guess that's kind of similar, but they're completely fucking different.
No.
I mean, not even the
Oh, I
same.
know that. Yeah.
They're
the
not.
tone's completely different. Yeah, but
One's a vegetable, one's a fucking fruit, and they're not tomatoes.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. They're not even close.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't hate.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. I just
Watch it while you're vacuuming.
Do you think it just wasn't what you were expecting? That like your expectations? Because that could ruin a movie. I've had that ruin a movie.
Well, I think I just
Sure.
wanted. I wanted a more classic
right.
Western.
Yeah.
Spaghetti Western, like, where there is a little bit of humor, but it's more the ruggedness and the seriousness of,
Yeah.
and this was too silly for me in parts. And by the end, I just didn't
Oh,
like
I know
it.
people who loathe comedy spaghetti westerns.
I just
Some
didn't-
They just fucking hate them.
Did anybody catch on to the Wild Bunch's music being the Ride of the Valkyries?
Yes, but it was all like.
I mean, that was cool.
Yeah.
It had
You
cool
knew they were
moments.
coming, and then
Yeah.
you had Nobody's. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Which
And
I-
then, so when you're vacuuming so Doug's rating is this: when you're vacuuming your house, play it. When you hear the tick-tock, turn the vacuum off and watch. When you hear the ticking of the clock.
When you hear the Nobody theme,
When
start
you hear the dun, 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 dun.
I'll be honest. When I
Dun,
finished
dun.
it, I sat there and I thought to myself, I was a little surprised at how much you went on about how much you liked it.
Really?
Honestly, yeah.
I enjoyed
Just
it.
considering some of the things that we've watched that you haven't liked, I just was like,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there. Wow, I was like, Derek's gonna fucking hate this shit.
I feel like it is random, and now I know why, because of the two directors.
Right.
It's
I didn't pick
inconsistent.
up on that either.
Yeah.
I knew it was a Leone present. I don't, which is different from like Tarantino presents Eli Roth's what
Yeah.
the fuck ever. That's kind of what I was thinking. But
I just like the editing, like the freeze frames at the end, and then they did the transitions,
Yeah.
and they do the little stuff that you
It's very
can't
skillfully
do
made.
anymore. You
Yeah.
can't do it anymore. And then, like I said, that one shot where they're behind Henry Fonda and the cranes up and sees the Wild Bunch coming towards him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I like Phantom Thread. That's why I like those kind of movies. Everything's a canvas. I know, whatever, with Phantom Thread and blah, 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 blah. Well, let me ask you, do you think that those horses were damaged?
Absolutely. Yeah.
At the end of
it's
that
Italy.
scene.
At that time,
You think they were blowing?
didn't give a shit.
They would tie explosives to those horses.
I think they were probably in the ground when they just rode over them and somebody hit the button. Yeah, this is in Italy at that time, there was no
animal rights.
animal rights. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you watch a couple years after this, they made it Cannibal Holocaust, where they just murdered them on screen.
Yeah.
No, they didn't give a shit.
That was a couple years after.
This is 70. This is 5 years after.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's it. My Name Is Nobody, and nobody wants to watch it again.
Well,
I've seen it before. So.
I just
I watched it a
don't think
couple
I would
times.
ever watch it again. But that doesn't necessarily mean that somebody else is going to watch it and love it.
Right. Exactly.
I'm not going to say don't watch it. But
With
it's
the asterisks.
yeah.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
There you go. Well, you got us a movie?
You want to do the news or the movie?
Oh, it doesn't matter to me. We can do the news.
I want to talk about them stopping the release of The Hunt.
Oh yes.
Because when we recorded last episode,
Yeah.
they paused the advertisements. But then, 4 hours after, they said, no, we're going to go ahead with the release. But then, the next morning after we had recorded, they have pulled it from the release schedule, which is such a chicken shit thing to do.
Well, let's get into it. Lee.
Let's get into it.
What is this movie about?
It's basically the most dangerous game. Okay. That's what it's just a 21st century most dangerous game. People being hunted by rich people.
And this has been done. A ton of times.
A ton of times. Yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, they're go back. There's a movie on Prime called Turkey Hunt, which is basically this
same thing.
Australia, early '80s, rich people hunting prisoners. Yeah. And because of the mass shootings, because of the villains are sort of perceived to be sort of Trump supporter-esque, very rich people who are very callous towards like poor people. It's just like if horror movies and violent exploitation movies can't offend people, then what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah,
that's what they're for.
Yeah,
so there are some movies that are supposed to be hated by a certain group of people. Like I could never, like my mom would never watch Reanimator. She would just hate it, and that's okay.
Yeah,
some movies are not. Everything is not for everybody.
Right.
Everything's not the fucking Avengers. And I know we bag on this every week, but that's just the most.
But that's the truth, though.
Yeah, but I mean, it's and I'll give it to Jason Blum. Like whether or not you like the movie Us that came out earlier this year, it was a completely unoriginal movie, not based on a previous property, and it made over $100 million.
It wasn't original.
Wasn't original. Yeah, it was original. Jason Blum, he gives filmmakers shots to make movies that aren't based on a fucking video game.
Yeah,
and good for him. In parentheses, he fucking bitched out on this one.
And how good.
And that could have been Universal's call. I'm not saying it was him.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah,
it was the studios, but I just can we not have guns in movies anymore?
That's where we're going. That's where we're going.
I mean, if we can't have guns in movies, I'm gonna just be watching old movies. I'm gonna be sitting there watching The Day of Anger, the 7th.
Well, that's what that's kind of how I feel like we're going, and it scares me that in 25 years that I won't have watched a new movie since 2019.
Well, it's just like in the next season of Stranger Things, there's going to be a smoking warning, or there's going to be less smoking. People in the 80s fucking smoked.
They smoked.
Yeah, but Jesus Christ, dude, that motherfucker smokes. I mean, it's a smoke fest, but still, that shouldn't matter. I don't care.
The original Exorcist, when they take Linda Blair to the doctor, her doctor is smoking in the hospital. He's just like, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with her. She's just fucking sick or something. It's like,
it shouldn't be the focus of the movie. The fact that people are making that the focus of the movie, it's like, come on, man, who cares?
I smoked till 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I smoked.
Yeah.
Smoked cigarettes. I smoked 2 packs a day, whatever. I have not wanted to pick up cigarettes in 10 years. Every now and then I'll have a couple of drinks, go and smell it and be like, oh, that smells good. I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and by God, I wanted a cigarette so bad. And you know what? I didn't go get one.
Yeah.
I didn't go buy one. As much as I just wanted to light up one Marlboro and just smoke it like Rick Dalton smoked the cigarette.
Yeah.
Every one that he smoked, you're just like, oh, that looks so good,
That's just how they did it.
Yeah.
But I didn't do
Different
it.
time. It's that's like watching, something like Caligula when they're having these orgy scenes.
Yeah.
And just being like, yeah, man, I'm just going to go out and fuck a bunch of fucking 15-year-old girls. It's the same thing. It's what happened in that time. It doesn't make it relevant today.
Yeah.
People that can't differentiate, I don't know what to say about that.
Right. These mass shootings that are happening.
They're fucking terrible.
It isn't the movie.
No.
It's not the video games. It's parenting.
No, I think that less violent things. I think if we're going to talk about being influenced, I think something like a cop show where somebody gets shot and you don't see any blood is more damaging than when you do. Because it makes it seem like there aren't consequences. It makes it seem like a video game.
Right.
I would rather see something where there is consequences. That's just how I feel about it,
I just think people are just...
And either way, I don't think, like that when those mass shootings have now, Walmart's taking out video game displays in their stores. Like, that's not the answer. Nobody's going to be like... nobody's ever just going down the aisle, Walmart got a bag of dog food, got this, walk by, there's a Mortal Kombat display, be like, yep.
Yeah.
Murder. Just push the cart away from them, go up to the gun counter. One, please. That has never happened. Yeah.
No.
And just this idea that, I don't know, it's so stupid.
You want to take the guns away or make gun laws stricter. I completely understand that mentality.
Right.
But let's just say that somehow we make society to where you can't purchase guns. I promise you that the crazy motherfuckers are going to find ways to kill people.
Yeah.
It won't be through guns. They'll
do more medieval stuff.
They will find a way
axe.
to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
The availability of the guns, is it easy? Maybe. But so is going and buying tannerite from the store, which is just like dynamite. You can't buy dynamite, but you can buy tannerite. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
I can blow shit up with it.
Yeah,
right?
you have a construction license to buy dynamite.
Right.
But you can go to the hunting store.
Right now, I could go and
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. But anyway, that's a completely different.
Right.
You get a fucking metal 3D printer and make a battle axe and put it in somebody's fucking skull.
Yeah.
But I think it sets a bad precedent.
Yeah.
Taking, I understand that it's a terrible thing that these people lost their lives. I do. I hate it.
Yeah.
But blaming it on something just to blame it, have a scapegoat for this, is not healthy.
And a lot of these shooter guys, they hate the culture, right?
Yeah.
And after 9/11, there was a lot of things that people would always say, we don't negotiate with terrorists. And giving in and like trying to kowtow to the possibility of one of these motherfuckers, to me, that's just negotiating with terrorists.
Yeah.
In a different way. We're changing what we do for them.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that's just as
And let's take all the guns away, and then guys like Osama bin Laden are like, well, they don't have guns now.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go get them.
It's just, it's the inability of society to be able to find out who the kinds of mental makeup that these kinds of people have.
Yeah.
And be able to spot the signs, if there are signs.
Yeah.
Early enough to be able to stop them, because until you can do that, it's not ever going to stop.
Listen, every once in a while, life just shits out of Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
You might meet one, you probably won't. But really, at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
I mean, so I don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah, I don't own a gun. I don't have a say. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't either, but I still feel like everybody should have the right to one.
Yeah, you can buy one.
As long as you fall under whatever the guidelines are to
You can
have.
fuck a dude. You can fuck a girl. You own a gun. You can do whatever you want, man.
You can listen to this podcast.
That's
It's
right.
a free America.
You're damn right. It's a free America.
Yeah.
And if there is a God, then you will answer for whatever the fuck you did in your life whenever you get there. Until then, brother, do whatever you want. Just don't shoot my fucking kids, or I'm going to fucking decapitate you with my 3D printer fucking battle axe.
There you go.
Amen. So that's it. So they will release that.
They'll release, and that, maybe it'll make it more successful. I don't know. Or maybe it'll just get dumped on DVD. Who knows?
I don't know.
I don't know. And by the way, I'm not chomping at the bit to see it. I just want.
It's probably just a shit movie.
Yeah.
But that we've seen several times.
That's not the point.
Yeah, it's just
like
that,
my thing with the when I talked about Jack's House, the Lars von Trier movie.
Yeah.
How they got with the rating. I don't want to see the movie. I just want the option to see the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Amen. The option.
Yeah. That's all I'm talking about is the option.
I want the freedom to go see that movie.
Yeah, and hate it or love it.
Yeah. I'm not making anybody watch it.
No.
It's up to the parents to keep people from watching this, or whatever our guidelines
It's up to the parents to go.
Yeah. It's almost like there's a small rectangle at the bottom of every movie poster that tells you what the content is.
Yeah.
It's almost like that's on every poster.
I have to tell River, you realize that this isn't real. This
Yeah.
is not real. This is just a movie.
I never thought movies were real.
I didn't either. That's what I don't understand.
He knows that, but that's my parenting.
Right, that's
going. Just
your
remember,
parenting duty. But I like people talk about kid. They'll think that's. I never thought that. I never watched a spaghetti western when I was a kid. And was like, oh, that shoots. It never occurred to me.
No, it never occurred to me either.
Yeah, but anyway.
There you go.
Any other movie news?
Jesus, no. God Almighty, we just got political.
So my
I'm sure somebody will be mad too. Somebody will listen to the podcast and be like, "Really? You're talking about gay people?" But let's be honest.
And guns.
Gay, all gay.
I am pro gay gun ownership.
Hey, listen.
PGGO.
I have a lot of gay friends, and everybody knows that I am not at all homophobic. But I will say this to all the guys that are putting up a stint about all this crap, buddy. You can take a dick, but you can't take a joke. I don't understand that. It's not a lot. I don't have that logic.
I'd like to go to the back where you said you had a lot of friends. gay or otherwise. I just don't. That doesn't seem right. But anyway. Anyway.
That's great. That's 2 weeks in a row we got a little bit risque on our podcast.
The only other news I had,
It's
not really news.
Yeah.
It's more about this fucking Bruce Lee scene and the goddamn Once Upon a Time in fucking Hollywood, and basically Tarantino finally said something about it, and he said, look, it's fake. Brad Pitt's fucking Dracula, and if I want to have him kill Bruce Lee, I will.
Yeah.
You know, I don't understand, and you know, now it's just more backlash. I saw something today where Kareem Abdul-Jabbar called it racist.
Right.
How the fuck is that racist?
I don't know. He knew Bruce Lee, and I guess he feels a certain way. That's how I look at it. Like
But he was an arrogant dude.
Yeah.
He was a badass. I mean, I would be an arrogant dude if I was a badass too.
If I'm making a movie, I can do whatever the fuck I want. And if my name's Quentin Tarantino, I can definitely do whatever the fuck I want.
And it's not like he was telling. It's not like he said that Bruce Lee was bad in any way. He just made
you're building a hero character out of this stuntman, this unknown stuntman. Okay? And in the middle of the movie, you show him do something that seems a little superhuman.
Yeah.
So fucking what?
I agree, man. You don't have to.
That shit just pisses me off. It's like,
like I've said, it's not. Nobody's complaining about it. It's the same 100 people, and they all retweet each other, and they all get written about in 100 different articles. So it's not like there's a huge backlash. There isn't.
Yeah.
It's 100 people bitching on the internet, and there's just an echo chamber of their bullshit.
Yep.
Like people talk about these giant, there's never, there's almost never a huge backlash.
Yeah.
Like, if you just ignore it, it'll go away.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yep, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
It's just movies, man. It's entertainment, dude. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like music, man. It's meant to entertain. If you look into it looking for something deeper than that, then there's something broken in yourself.
Right.
Right.
No, absolutely. That was one of the best scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
And I didn't go out of there thinking, oh my God, they've spit on his grave. How dare they?
Yeah.
I was just like, man, that fucking...
Have you seen Dragon, the Bruce Lee story?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I mean...
Yeah.
I know.
The movie's good, but he acted the same way in that movie.
Yeah.
He was, I'm not, what do you say? I'm not Gook. I'm Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Like he was big and larger than life in that too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's who he was.
Can't please anyone.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's still alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Racist, he says.
Is it right? It's racist.
That's what he said. That just infuriated me so bad I couldn't even stand it.
I
didn't even finish reading the article. I just got to that and was like, nope, done.
Now they're bringing back the Uma Thurman, Quentin Tarantino. This sparked that whole argument about the wreck. Remember on Kill Bill where she wrecks the car?
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Quentin did this to her. And I'm like, oh, my God.
Her daughter's in his fucking movie.
Yeah, I'm sure they're fine.
Yeah.
So it's like,
that's right. That's right.
I don't think even though she was only in it for a few moments, I don't think that she would be in it at all if there was any kind of real hate there.
Right.
It's just bullshit.
Yeah.
It's just fucking bullshit.
That's too bad. It's the internet.
Yeah, it's the internet.
Fucking internet.
Yeah.
Fuck the internet. Fuck it square.
Except the part of the internet that you listen to this show on. That part is great.
Yep.
The rest of it, ignore it.
The rest of it's shit. Agreed.
Oh, it's great. All right, you got us a movie. We're running long today. Goodness gracious. We're about 2 hours.
7.5 hours, all right.
Yeah, 4 hours. But it's about 40 minutes of politics, 20 minutes of movies. All right, let's go.
It's a movie from 2002, early 2000s, called 800 Bullets. Directed by Alex D'Inglesia. We did his movie Witchin' and Bitchin'
Yes.
several months ago. And it's basically one of the towns they shot a spaghetti western in is now, you go to the early 21st century, all the stunt guys still live in it, and it's now like a really crappy tourist attraction.
Okay.
And this kid, his mom's a rich land developer, and he never knew anything about his dad. All he knows is his dad died in an accident. And then when they're moving, he finds a picture of his dad dressed as a cowboy, and he unfolds the picture, and next to him is his granddad. And it's on a movie set. And his dad died doing a stunt. And his mother is just basically this blankness from their lives. And so he goes on this class trip, but he has the charter bus stop and says, oh, I got to go back home. And he just runs away to Almeria to the Spanish coast and to meet his granddad. And his grandma, she hates his mom hates his granddad so much because her husband died. And she's a land developer. She's trying to find this piece of land to build like a big mall on. And she basically buys the land out from under them. And they refuse to leave. So like a SWAT team shows up and they sort of use their stuntman skills to sort of stave off the police. And it's very goofy. Of all his movies, a lot of them are very violent. This has the most heart. This is like his sweetest movie. Even though it's still parts of it are very inappropriate.
Right.
Like all Alex Dean Lacey movies. But it's got a lot of heart to it.
800 bullets.
800 bullets.
Nice.
And it's the guy, the granddad claims he was Clint's stuntman, the good man, that's sort of his claim to fame. And it's a love letter to spaghetti westerns.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's my recommendation for this week.
Cool.
All right. Well, Showdown is a very simple showdown. We're going to get things started. We're going to do a director versus director.
What's next?
Showdown.
Garrett?
We're going to do David Lynch. Well, my showdown's going to be who's the better director. David, or whose movies are better? David Lynch or Nicholas Winding Refn? Since we're going to be studying both of those directors.
God, you stumble through that fucking name every time, don't you?
I know, but did I do
It's
it right?
fun. No.
What is it?
It's fun.
Say it.
It's fun. It's fun.
Nicholas Winding Refn.
Refn.
R-E-F-N.
Refn.
Refn. So what's the first movie we're going to be watching, Garrett?
Blue Velvet.
Blue Velvet. Yep.
David Lynch classic?
Yep.
David Lynch classic.
And what else are we going to watch on this block? I know we went over it. I can't remember. What were the four?
We're going to watch first we're going to watch Blue Velvet.
Blue Velvet.
Then we're going to watch Pusher. Then we're going to watch Wild at Heart. Then we're going to watch Drive.
Okay.
Because those are the two that kind of they're the most similar,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, okay. So next week will be all about Blue Velvet.
Blue Velvet, yeah.
She wore blue velvet.
This will be interesting.
Yeah.
This is something different. We haven't done
I
this before.
I don't know
I like
how we chose those two.
Which two?
Well, just Riffin and Lynch, man.
Because you've been talking about wanting to suck Refn's cock for months now, so we're putting him on the stage. We're gonna.
Well, Drive is the most mainstream. We should watch God or
Pusher is, I believe, from 1996.
or Neon Demon.
No.
I can't sit through that again.
I'm not sitting through that again.
Yeah,
This will be fine.
it's fun, man,
Yeah.
and it gives us a chance to watch Wild at Heart again.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite fucking movies of all
Yeah.
time, and I'm super geeked to see it. And you've never seen Pusher?
No, I have not. I've seen all the others though. I own Drive and Blue Velvet. I think
Blue Velvet, I believe, is on Prime.
everything's on Prime.
No,
What
everything's
would we do without Prime?
Yeah.
Not this.
I just suspended my Hulu license, my Hulu subscription, and then you start telling me about the freaking amazing Jonathan.
Yeah. And for everybody listening, Pusher is on Tubi for free. It has ads, but it's if you can watch that online, TUBI.
How do you? I went to that site. Go ahead.
I was gonna. Did you get the text that I sent you about the Pusher remake, the British Pusher
I've seen the
remake
poster.
that's on Netflix?
Yeah.
It's from 2012. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
but
I've not watched it.
okay. I was just curious.
Yeah, it's been remade in a couple different countries.
Really?
Yeah.
I just went to Netflix and I was like, let's just see if what Refn's got on here.
Right.
And it just came up Pusher 2012. I thought that's weird.
Yeah, very weird. Now, what was your question?
How do you? I went to that site, but I haven't. Surfing it seems to be very hard. How do you find some of the? Lesser known movies?
I mean, you look up a movie and they'll have a, similar list. There's it's like Prime. There's so much on there.
Yeah.
It's hard to, and you can just look at. I mean, just basically just look up the movie on Google search and it'll tell you.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
That's the best way to do it.
But you see, I don't know probably as many movies as you. So sometimes the search engine kind of thing helps me find something.
Yeah.
But that looks really cool. So how does it work? There's commercials all the way through, or do you have to?
It's like they're like every 20 minutes. You get like 2 ads.
That's not bad.
No, it's like watching on TV.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's free.
But nothing's cut out.
No.
I mean, it's still
yeah.
everything that it's meant to be.
Yeah.
So there you go. Well, that's the end. Do you want to extend Spaghetti Western one more time?
Look, I'm just telling you, do yourself a favor. Go watch Day of Fucking Anger.
Yeah.
I was so happy that I watched it and ended on this. It's exactly what I wanted. Not that I hated My Name Is Nobody. I'm just saying this was more.
I got you.
This was more exactly what I was wanting to see, and it's Van Cleef just fucking Van Cleef.
You just love Van Cleef.
I really do, dude. I really do.
Yeah.
He's fucking awesome. And this one, yeah. Cleef at his cleefiest.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it for this week, guys. Thanks a lot for listening. You have been listening to Tales from the Video Store. For more information, go to our website, videostoretales.com. This podcast is brought to you by Golden Ticket Cinemas and Table Rock Creative Group.